Welcome to Coweta Schools Game Day, where we highlight the student athletes and athletic programs in the Coweta County school system that bring so much excitement to our community throughout the year. I'm Hat Pines, principal of the Central Educational Center, also known as the CEC. This program is being brought to you by the video team members here at CEC through our school system's CCS TV YouTube channel. And today we're bringing you all of the action from our high school football season. This Friday, the Northgate Vikings, fresh off their win with Northside, are away this Friday in Harris County. East Coweta has a bye week this week after a homecoming win against Campbell High School. And Newnan hosts Langston Hughes this Friday night. We'll bring you all the action and clips from the past games and talk about the players and coaches with Northgate head coach Mike McDonald, East Coweta head coach John Small, and Newnan head coach Chip Walker right here on Game Day. So stay tuned with us. Welcome back to Coweta Schools Game Day. We're here with Mike McDonald, head coach of the Northgate Vikings. Coach, good to have you back.
Thanks, Coach Hines.
Well, Coach, it was a wet and dreary night in Valhalla, but your kids hung tough and pulled out a gutsy win and improved to 2-0 in the region. Let's tell us all about it.
Yeah, we had a terrible start. They pushed the first kick off, and we muffed it, and they jumped on it, and we pretty much got down 14-0 real quick. But proud of the guys. We really battled back and showed some guts there in the second half, and was able to pull it out.
Well, that's great, Coach. Coach, you got down 2 scores super early in the game, but it sounds to me like your kids stayed the course, trusted the process, and was able to pull away with a big victory there. That speaks a lot to their resiliency.
Yeah, I thought we fought, and it was a nasty night. It was the wind and the rain, and it wasn't conducive to throwing the ball very much. And both teams kind of struggled there, but we ran the ball well, and defense kind of settled down, and got a lot of stops, and got the ball back. We had a good punt return, so special teams hit a big field goal there late in the game, or late in the third quarter, I should say, that ended up being the difference.
Yeah, well, Northside's a tough opponent. Yeah. They came to play.
They did.
And, like I said, I think to pull a victory out, especially the way y'all do it, just grind it out, hang tough, typical Mike McDonald fashion. Let's take a look at Friday night's highlights.
You're going to see us here on offense, and we're going to run the jet, our speed sweep here to Josh Veen, picks up about 15, 20 yards there, and Cade Bates right here. Quarterback tries to pull the ball, and Cade's there to make the tackle. And it was a great play here by Trent Gordon. We had worked that play a lot. We knew they were going to run it back to the nub tight end, and he whips his guy. And you're going to see us right here. That's Amir Hopper right there on the tackle in the backfield. And here we are running power here, and you see Evan. Another strong run by him right there. He's going to put the ball down on about the 12-yard line, and we run a duo right here, and we're going to put that one in. And here we are on defense again. You're just going to see a host of guys, both linebackers and Marcus Barnes there on the tackle. And here we are on offense again. Going to run the jet again, yeah, and you're going to see a good little run here, good blocking out in front.
Got a good reach on that end.
Yeah, and that was Bryce Oswald on the block right there, and here we go running counter here, and we're going to punch that one in. And again, just a good job by the defensive front and the linebackers right there. Nowhere to run, and we're going to pull the ball here. I thought Dylan did a good job of reading that, and picks up a good chunk of yardage. We're going to get an interception right here. It's Kyron Williams. He got his first start for us the other night, and he's a sophomore, and big play right there. We're going to come out here and we're going to pull the ball again. You're going to see Dylan with a nice run. And it's right before half, and we're backed up there. And that was a big play, got us off the goal line. And here comes
another big night.
Yeah, here comes Evan. We're running duo again there. And good job by Marcus Barnes right here.
I hear his name every week, Coach.
Good job by Marcus there. And good job again by Trent Gordon right here. Just kind of whips his guy and makes a tackle right there. And we're going to boot out here and hit Bryce Oswald in the flat. And good first down right there. And running counter here, and you're going to see Evan bust out of there for a big run, and offensive line blocked well again. We're going to fake the toss right here, and they cover us up. I thought Dylan did a great job. He saw everybody covered up, and he just tugged it and ran, and they had their back turned. That was a big play, and we're going to
just move the pile.
Yeah, we're going to run duo there and put it in the end zone. Here's a great job by Cade Bates right there. Get a strip sack and go get us the ball down there. You're going to see Evan on the power right here, and that's going to lead to a field goal. And
I tell you what, he's just become money this year kicking those field goals, Coach.
Yeah, he's done a good job. And you're going to see a big punt return right here. And this is Josh Veen. I thought our guys did a good job of not blocking in the back there. And it's going to set us up real good field position. Here's a winning touchdown right here. Look at this run. Looked like a couple of guys had him. And
I say it every week, Coach, that YACs, Y-A-C, yards after contact.
There you go.
He gets them.
You're going to see a host of guys right here. Trent Gordon again and Peyton Liggett there running the ball, making the tackle right there. We're going to Kyron Williams again. First start, and he's going to pick that pass off. That was a big play for us Friday night. And here we're going to run counter here. And you'll see Evan dragging guys. We took the ball last drive, 6 minutes in the game, and Evan carried it, I think, 11 times. It's a good game. We always tend to have a good game with those guys. Every year we've played them, it's really come down to the last minutes. It's become a good rivalry for us.
Well, Coach, it doesn't take a football guy to watch those highlights to understand your kids are pretty dadgum tough.
Yeah.
And, when you're 6-2 and almost within a hair of being undefeated, and you're 2-0 in the region play with a great chance to vying for a championship, that's going to be synonymous with a big play board. Let's hear all about your big play board.
Big play board versus Northside. Most hits this week went to defensive back Keaton Stegall. Big play was Trent Gordon. Hammer this week, we had 2. Our center, Trey Gaddy, and offensive guard, Darian Parks. Takeaway, we saw the 2 interceptions by Kyron Williams. Highest grade O-line was our center, Trey Gaddy. Highest grade defensive line was defensive end Marcus Barnes. Highest grade secondary was Keaton Stegall. Highest grade linebacker was Bryson Davies. The meanest Viking went to our center, Trey Gaddy. Of course, the racehorse went to Evan Garrett. He had over 200 again. I think it was 240.
Golly.
I think it was 242 and four touchdowns. Air Viking went to our tight end, Bryce Oswalt. The game breaker, we gave it to the interception, the second interception down there when they were threatening to score by Kyron Williams. A spirit ball. Went to sophomore offensive guard Darian Parks. He was fired up the other night. Kicking game, we gave it an extra point field goal team. That was a big field goal. Ended up being the difference in the game right there. Captains for Harris County this week will be Trey Gaddy and Evan Garrett on offense, and Trent Gordon and Marcus Barnes on defense. Player of the week goes to Evan Garrett again. And the scout team offense goes to center Jackson Bray. He's a sophomore. And then also free safety David West was the scout team defensive player of the week. David's a senior.
Well, Coach, you got 2 games left in the season. And what's great is you guys have already punched your ticket in the state playoffs. And I know you're never going to be looking in ahead, but now you got 2 games to go for a region championship and if anything, home field advantage in the state playoffs and against a tough Harris County team. So what are you expecting out of Harris County? What can we expect out of the Harris County Tigers?
It's going to be physical. They're big up front, especially on offense, and a big old running back. They converted a linebacker back to running back, and it's made a big difference. And they come at you, a lot of gap schemes, power counter, a lot like us. They're going to give you a lot of unbalanced formations and, try to get you to miss a line, and they're just going to come right at you. And they do a good job of taking shots, too. So it's going to be a physical football game. I think they're 6-1, and they lost to Troup County, I think, the first game of the season, but they've won every one since, and they're a really, really Good football team, much improved over last year, and it's going to be a battle down there.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, it's going to be a big-time matchup, and you guys have earned these kind of games, and it's been a great season, and I expect all of Valhalla to make the trip over to Harris County. Best of luck to you guys. Looking forward to having you back on the show next week after a big victory, man.
Thank you, Coach Hines.
Thank you. And with that, we'll be back with more Coweta Schools Game Day in just a few moments. Welcome back to Coweta Schools Game Day. We're here with head coach John Small of the East Coweta Indians. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, you had a big homecoming win, region win against Campbell on Friday night, and you guys braved the weather. Tell us all about it.
Well, homecoming at East Coweta High School is always a special night. Great crowd showed up, even with the weather that we had. Just a nasty, misty rain all night long, but great ball game on the field against a competitive Campbell team. We were able to come out on top 35-22, and really proud of the way the kids battled all night.
Coach, Campbell, they obviously proved to be a stubborn bunch, and you guys responded. Were you pleased with how they responded with the whole week after the Carrollton game and everything?
Yeah, I mean, they bounced back on Monday. They were ready to go. Obviously that was a tough loss, but that's behind us. We have that 24-hour mentality. But our kids came out. We jumped out to a 14-0 lead early and could have put the game away early, but Campbell was stubborn and hung around, and our kids found a way to get it done the second half, and really proud of them.
Coach, great job. Y'all have had a great season so far, and like I said, looking forward to watching these highlights with you. Let's take a look.
Yeah, defensively, thought our front played very well. We get a fumble here on their first drive. They were going to try to control the clock all night long and take their time of when they snapped it, but our kids did a good job of staying patient. They did hit us a couple times on some pass plays just because they kind of lull you to sleep. But
right.
They had a huge fullback. I mean, he's probably 270-pound fullback, and it was going to take everybody to tackle him. But our guys up front, Tyler Horsley, Aiden Cagle, I'm sorry, not Aiden, Tyler
Horsley.
Cobb, and Lucas Knockin, and those guys. Jalen Thornton had a big night at middle linebacker for us, made a lot of plays. Here we get some pressure on the quarterback, and he fumbles the football. We knock it out. Lucas Knockin has a sack, strip sack, and a touchdown. So great play there by him, getting some defensive points on the board. Great job of stringing it out all night. Josh Anderson, Austin Arrington played really well. We had a freshman starting for us at free safety because of an injury to Flynn Larkin, but great experience for him to be doing that. Darion Horsley had an excellent ball game on both sides of the ball for us.
Kids are just so physical out there, Coach.
Very physical group. We got them backed up here, string this thing out here. We're able to hold them to a punt here. Thought we had a safety a couple plays before, but didn't get that called. But our defensive player of the game, City of Hope, was Austin Arrington. And then kicking wise, Brock's had a little sore foot, but he made some extra points for us.
Steady Eddie.
We pulled in our freshman kicker, Aaron McWilliams, and he did this for us here. He put 2 or 3 in the end zone, very deep, and did a great job here.
Is he just a freshman?
He's just a freshman.
Wow.
So he's kicked for us a little bit this year, but he gets better and better. Offensively, Seth Gritton had a big night receiving the ball. Cohen Peoples, we only had 111 yards passing, but our field position was great all night because they tried to onside kick it every time they had a chance.
He just commands it so well, even in tough conditions.
Yeah, and then Seth Gritton again. We got Darion Horsley more involved in the offense this week, and here's another big catch by Seth Gritton, getting it down there. Here's a big, nice throw here to Darion Horsley. He had 2 touchdowns on the night, first time playing receiver for us. So maybe that's our problem. Should have been playing him sooner. But then there's his brother too.
50 balls.
So tall. And then Deontay Jones and Darrell Thompson had a big night running the football for us. And Deontay had 80 yards. And you'll see this is a big play here, and Cohen getting downfield trying to block for Deontay.
That's what a good football player does.
Get it down here inside the 15, and then Deontay's going to do the rest here and bounce it outside. Great blocking on the perimeter, and we get that one in the end zone. And then Darrell Thompson here, you can see him just running over people and does a great job there. He had a big night as well, running that thing. So our offensive line did a great job. Ashton Sample had a big night for us at center.
Coach, what's really fun is is it seems like your kids are having fun. And they just play so hard, and I think what they've accomplished so far this season is just a direct example of that. Coach, and what we're seeing is a lot of the familiar names week in, week out that are on the highlights, and I'm sure that's going to have a lot to say on your big play board. Let's hear all about it.
Yeah, on a big play board, our City of Hope defensive player of the game was Austin Arrington. He's just been consistent all year. City of Hope offensive player of the game was Ashton Sample, our 6'6", 315-pound center. Our City of Hope special teams player of the game was Josh Anderson, who is normally a defensive player of the game or a player of the week, but he contributes in every phase. Our hog of the week was Lucas Knockin. He's a linebacker, but we have him walk down a good bit. Our Georgia Farm Bureau player of the week was Darion Horsley. Had 2 receiving touchdowns and about 3 pass breakups and 7 tackles. City of Hope Scout offensive player of the game was Jake Gaines. He's a young tight end for us. City of Hope defensive player of the game was Sam Gritton, who's a brother of Seth Gritton. So, and he's a sophomore that's seen a lot more playing time. And then this guy's just been consistent all year. He's been named to the City of Hope Special Teams Player of the Week about 4 times, and that's Carson King. And he's a sophomore defensive end that's doing that on special teams. So really proud of all their effort. They bring a ton of value to our program and worth, and really excited for all these guys.
Well, Coach, it's always, I think what was great about that win is it really does put you guys in great position to secure that spot in the playoff. But with you, it's always about the next opponent, not looking too far ahead, competing within yourself, trusting the process, which is what they have done. Your kids don't flinch. They know how to handle big-time opposition. They know how to handle the moments. Coach, you go into a bye week this week. What are some of the things you're looking to get done with this bye week?
Well, I think we got to have a great week in terms of working on us, but we've got to get ready for a tough Westlake team. And one thing we're going to preach to the kids this week is, we have a process, we have a plan every single day, but you can't go out and cheat the process or the plan. And make sure we stay focused on the task at hand each day and what we got to improve upon. We have our last JV game this week on Wednesday against Carver. So excited about seeing those kids play. Our freshmen finished their season up 5-1. Did a great job. Our JV's going to go for a 5-1, 6-1 record coming up. So that was great for the sub-varsity teams. But we got to get healthy, like everybody else does in the state. But keep our eye on the prize, which is playing Westlake next week and going on the road getting a win. Right.
Well, Coach, it's going to be a big-time matchup. I expect to see all of Sharpsburg, and Sonoy filling up the stands at Westlake. That's going to be a big-time opponent. Coach, fall is in full force. The leaves are changing. You're right there in the thick of it come region play, vying for home field advantage and all that. Does it get any better than that to be a head football coach in 7A?
No, it's exciting. The experts out there picked our guys to win 2 games this year. We won 6, so our kids just keep overcoming odds, and we're excited about having a chance to try to get into the playoffs and then work for home field advantage. And then, we tell them all the time, if you get in the dance, anything can happen.
Amen.
Let's just get in and see what happens.
Well, Coach, y'all have done great. Looking forward to a big-time matchup against Westlake. Thanks so much for all that you do. Great job this season. Keep it going.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll be back more with Coweta Schools Game Day in just a few moments. Welcome back to Coweta Schools Game Day. We're here with head football coach of the Newnan Cougars, Chip Walker. Coach, good to have you back, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, Coach. Well, Coach, you're off a bye week, off a big win versus Alexander. Did you get everything you need to accomplish during this bye week?
Yeah, it was a good bye week. We obviously rested and got some guys healthy that were banged up. We talked about it last time. We second play of the game second carry of the game versus Alexander. We lost our tailback. Antavius Berry, he had a productive week getting healed up, and so just some bumps and bruises this time of the year, and so it was good. We're ready to go.
Awesome, Coach. Just like my beloved Georgia Bulldogs, they're going into a bye week, and let me tell you, when you get this late in the season, those bumps and bruises start to really accumulate, and it's good to give some guys some rest, especially after a big region win. So glad y'all were able to get that time, and now we got Langston Hughes coming in this week with the big pink out. Tell us about our upcoming opponent, Coach.
Well, obviously, Langston Hughes is defending state champion. They've already, one of their big wins already on the year is they beat Carrollton over at Carrollton to open the year. They got a great football team. Quarterback Aaron Nolan's committed to Ohio State. They got an offensive lineman that's a junior that's committed to Alabama. Got a defensive back committed to Central Florida. They got really good players all over They do a good job coaching those guys up. So it's a talented football team. They've lost a couple since that opening win at Carrollton, which is probably what a lot of people didn't think. But I think, these next 2 weeks we got, I looked at it today, maybe 2 of the top 3 teams in the state, if you go by one of those computer models. And so we got Langston and then Douglas. And so we got some good tests in front of us. It'll be good.
You've got your team 2-2 in the region, positioned to make a run to get in the state playoffs. That's a great tribute to you and your young team. How are things kind of shaking out across the region in Region 5, 6A?
Well, there's a bunch of, I think Douglas is the only one that's undefeated. After that, Langston and East Paulding both have 1 loss. Then there's a couple of us right there with 2. And so, for us, what we really need to have happen, obviously, we need to win one of these next 2 at Langston, Douglas, to set up the possibility of us getting in the playoffs with the 3rd one over at New Manchester, or we can have Paulding County lose one of their next 2, which are Alexander and New Manchester. And so if those things happen, it'll set up that last game of the year. So we got a chance to get into the playoffs, which will be really good for us. As you said, got a young football team, got a bunch of guys that'll be back. It'll also be a tribute to our seniors to go through what they've gone through for the last 4 years. To get into playoffs. And then, once you get in the playoffs, who knows? I've been there and done that
Absolutely,
before.
Coach. Absolutely. Coach, what doesn't need to get lost in all this is you see your young guys showing tremendous strides every single week. And when you go through a gauntlet of what some people may consider the toughest region, in the state that you're going through, you're going to see those gains and you're going to see that maturity and the iron just sharpens iron, and it's happened with your kids, and I think that's a tribute to you and your coaching staff and the resiliency of your team. When y'all go into Langston Hughes this week, what's kind of the challenge or the message you want to send to them?
Well, we want to play hard and play physical for 48 minutes. We went there last year, and they were obviously one of the best teams in the country last year. And with about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, it was 7-0, and we had played. We'd kind of gone toe-to-toe with them, had a special teams blunder that gave them the ball, had a turnover, and before, just like that, it was 21-0 right before halftime. But so this year, we want to make sure we play hard, play physical, play fast, and take that experience and take the things that we've learned in these first 7, put it in this one, lay it all out on the table, and we really don't have anything to lose. It's
Absolutely.
For us, it's kind of we can go and play loose, and they're the ones that got all the pressure. If we win, hey, that's a great win for us. If something happens and we don't, nobody expected us to anyway. So that's going to kind of be what we're going to do, and our kids are just like last year when we went up there. Our kids are going to respond to the challenge, and we're excited about it.
Coach, you're as well versed in the state playoffs as any coach in Georgia high school history. You've won championships. You know how hard it is. How hard is it though for our listeners when you're talking high school football playoffs in the state of Georgia?
Oh, look, it's one of the most difficult things that there is, and I don't think that we were fortunate enough to win 3 state championships, and I got a couple guys on my staff that played on the first one, and we talk about we're playing Tucker in the second round, who's the defending state champion. We don't score an offensive touchdown and win the game to go on, and there's just things like that happen every single year. You go and you see, majority of the times the guys who's the favorite don't end up winning it. Right. Last year, Langston Hughes was kind of an exception to that. They were the favorite and dominated throughout the course of the playoffs. But, it's a difficult thing. And then the more you're around it, the more you appreciate what it takes to be able to go deep, first off, and then actually win one. It's a huge deal. It's something that ball's got to bounce right. The bracket's got to
that's a lot
line up right. And it's just a lot of things that go into that for a school and a community. And so it's state playoffs. There's some crazy things that'll happen. I know we were at our place. It might have been last week. My dad was out watching. We were running a little play, and Brian Morgan, our team chaplain, was right there with Dad, and he says that play right there. It was the same play that somebody had run against him, cost him a state championship. But it was Thomas County Central when they were 5-5 back in '91 or '92 and ended up winning state championship. They upset that in them in the semifinals off something kind of similar to that, and it was, it just tells you a lot of things that go into it. It's a fun time of the year.
It is. My brother-in-law played for Billy Henderson at Clark Central.
There you go.
And they started the year 4-0. And when it was all said and done, they were playing Valdosta for a state championship in Athens. So like you said, once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen and all that. Well, Coach, your young team is really like I said, the growth and watching them every week. Keep up the great work. And if we can, like I said, big win this week, pulling for you. Go Newnan.
Appreciate it.
Take care, buddy. Thank you. And with that, we'll be back more to Coweta Schools Game Day in just a few moments. That will do it for this week on Game Day. Thanks to all our head coaches and best of luck to our Coweta teams this weekend. We'll be back with you throughout the year highlighting the great action on the fields and in the gyms of the Coweta County school system. Don't forget to like and subscribe to CCS TV. It helps to get the word out about all the great happenings throughout our school system. I'll see you soon.